Greetings, venturers and dungeoneers alike. I am your DM4Hire, and today we have a special review of a product that I ordered about a week or so ago, and I very much am looking forward to this. And this would be the first review in this variety on the YouTube channel. We did something very similar on Instagram. The series or micro series, no pun intended, known as the USB Unbox Some Boxes. So, in that regard, that's brought back in this very special video. Today, I'm going to be reviewing, as it just came in last night through the works of Amazon. Since these guys are officially out, you can buy them online right now. I don't know if they are out in like tabletop shops, at least here in my hometown. Hopefully they are, so that way people like yourself and players alike can also buy these, especially if they're big fans of this particular series as much as I am. So without any further ado, I am talking about no other than the Icons of the Realm Baldur's Gate 3 characters pack. Now, once they had announced they finally were going to make miniatures based off of Baldur's Gate 3, which I had played a ton of since day one when it finally came out. I didn't play early access because me personally, I'd rather have a game that's fully complete than like, oh, here's what it looks like right now, but it may look completely different once it comes out. So for me, I never really got to experience the Adam Sandler looking Gale or any other of the original stuff that they had in Baldur's Gate 3 that mostly focused on Act 1 because the other acts were in development during that time. Regardless, I'm pretty much excited to review this pack right here. So without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, so right off the bat, we do have at least a total of 7 minis that come into this character pack. And for starters, we're going to look over everyone's favorite vampire, no other than Astarion. Now, I will say the majority of the paint job is pretty well done. Like the boots are nicely painted on there, especially the little cut right here. Fun fact, these are like my least favorite boots in game. Like there's other boots you could have given them, but I get it's for the fantasy purposes and whatnot, but alas. And then on the coat itself, there's a lot of good detail put into it. Like even looking at it right now, like you can see all the line work that's printed on there. Very well done. I know some people that I have heard, at the very least, would complain about the face printing, which I will get into with one of the other minis that kind of has that issue. But other than that, this Astarion, I will say, is probably one of the best ones that came out of this wave of miniatures. So I'm going to put him up here for now. And up next, one of my favorite characters from Baldur's Gate 3 himself is Gale. And again, the printing is pretty good. There's a little bit of a smudge on his right hand right there where it's on the robe. The quarter staff's a little bent, but that's always been like a normal issue with anything that's slender. And bow staffs, quarter staffs, spears in general will always have that little like cartoonish lean to them. Outside of that, the rest of the printing's pretty alright. I kind of wish that this right here, because I do have like a prop recreation of the quarterstaff from BG3, and this usually has like a nice green wrap around it. Instead, they kind of cope with almost like a steel rod in the middle right here. I would prefer at least like a gold wrap, or not gold wrap, but a green wrapping like the game itself, um, in that matter. And then, of course, the face print itself, pretty simple. The beard's good. Uh, you can kind of, actually, no, there's no earring on Gale, unfortunately. But, it's a small earring, and a lot of people tend to miss that detail all the time. But the hair sculpt looks good too. So, yeah, no complaints. You look underneath there, it's just brown pants. Um, but yeah, Gale, pretty spot on. So very cool. And then next, one of my other favorite characters from Baldur's Gate as well, Karlach. And I think for her personally, definitely my top three from this pack that just incredibly looks good. Uh, I know there's a little bit of a little red dot on her hair, but I think that's fixable at the very least. Just a small tab of Citadel paint. She's fine. The horn looks good. The battle axe is not too lenient, so it's not too bad. There is a little bit of like paint smudges on the handle here where her hand is. Thankfully, none on her left hand here. But other than that, not too bad. I feel like at least it could have put a little bit more detail in the stitching of the pants, kind of like in game. Maybe even painted the straps that's on her boots. I do see a little bit of like tears because like her whole outfit's all teared up from being on fire almost 24/7. But for what it's worth, pretty solid Karlach figure. Like you can even like look from a distance and you can tell, oh, that's Karlach. So not too bad. And the face printing's pretty good too. I got the eyebrows, the face sculpt's nice. So plain simple, to the point. And then one of my other favorite characters, which I know I'm going to be saying that a lot. It's just the game itself has an amazing cast of NPCs and such, including this guy, Withers, who is not a playable character, but he is a character that's very prominent in Baldur's Gate 3. So taking a good look at him, he's got the Book of the Dead, he's got the gold chest piece, which is printed very nicely on there, alongside the gold bracelets on there too, and the gold faceplate, which that of itself, as we take a little 360, very nice, very nicely done. And you can see on the face sculpt, it looks very good too. The quarterstaff, I got no issues with. There's probably a little bit of black smudge. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not, because he's a withering skeleton, no pun intended. But I do know he also uses the endgame quarterstaff, similar to that of Gale, which looking side by side, they kind of look similar, but I'd say at least his is a lot better than what they gave to Gale in that matter. And I think a little bit more accurate to, I want to say, the concept art for Withers. But of course, I'll talk about it later when I have all of them together for one of my critiques that I have. So, zero complaints for Withers, in my opinion. So, there you go. And then next is Lae'zel, and the party's fighter, Githyanki. And I will say, as someone who's trying to start building a Githyanki army, this is probably one of the best ones. They got the skin tone right for like the yellowish color that Githyankis are known to have. The scimitar is very well done. No bend, perfectly curved. It's a little bit, but it makes it pop. At least when you have it facing this way, you definitely notice at least on that side. But I think it makes it look pop like that. So, and then the face sculpt itself is not too bad, honestly, for the amount of small details they put into it. Got the red lipstick on there, classic. I do like all the eyeshadow and all the war makeup that she's got on there. The armor itself is very spot on. I'll say that much from in game itself. So, but yeah, overall, I do say this figure is probably one of the most well done. Has a little bit of a lean, but I think that's on purpose itself. Doesn't really fall too back. So very nice, in my opinion. And now on to the next character, Shadowheart, whom I mentioned earlier. I know a lot of people complain about like, oh, the faces don't look good and this and that and blah blah blah. One thing I will agree with is that Shadowheart's feels very plain at the very least. Like the face sculpt is just too round. It should be more sharpened, I guess. But again, it's the printing, and you want to make sure that it's not too thin that it may or may not break. But then again, we have 3D printing technology to make it super sturdy. And again, the classic rubbery spears. Thankfully, at least on this part over here, it's not too bad. It's perfectly straight. No complaints on that. The boots are very well sculpted. I do see what looks to be a little bit of smudge right here, but other than that, a pretty solid figure for the most part. Even the detail on the loincloth. The post itself helps to hide the details that they wouldn't be able to put on there, like the emblem that's on her chest plate. And other than that, hair looks good, hairpiece looks nice. It's a little bit of smudge on top, a little bit. A little simple, Citadel paint can't fix. So yeah, pretty good, plain simple Knight Spear. No complaints besides the face, but what can you do? And now the last one. I saved it for last for a very obvious reason. Will Ravengard, which you can already see is doing his perfect smooth criminal impression. And the sad thing is, like, the figure looks good, surprisingly. Even looking at the face sculpt, which is a little plain, and the horns are good. I feel like there's a little bit too much on the forehead that pretty much indicates like, oh, this is Will if keep her alive. And I'll just leave it at that in regards to spoilers. For PG3, that's been out for almost 2 years at this point. And yeah, the outfit itself's not too bad. I feel like it could have been more of a brownish kind of color, kind of like in game. But I do like the front of it itself. The colors do match with that in that regard. My least favorite boots on here, perfectly sculpted. I do not like that he's just leaning forward like that. As you can see, like it's going back, doing his perfect smooth criminal impression, which I've seen other miniatures, not just this one or anything from the PG3 models that I know of that have this issue. And yeah, so overall, besides the unfortunate curve at the front for Will, he's a good figure, and try and make sure I don't give too much stress for my boy. Here we go. And he ascends like so. And I think I might have fixed it. Maybe. Okay, cool. Well, there he is. Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers, and a little bit of curve on the blade, but at a distance could also be fixed as well. So yeah, that's always been a normal thing with the miniatures. Like they always have like a little curve to them. So with that said, and let's go bring them all forward into the shot. So now they're all grouped up together, bird's eye view. And I will say this pack of miniatures is pretty good. Well, I'd say it's $50 worth to pay for this set of miniatures? But I'll probably say no. Personally, as a consumer, like at best, I would easily pay at a minimum of $30 to $40 at the very least. $50 feels a little bit too much when it comes to this, and I get it. It's probably because of the Baldur's Gate 3 label on there, and it's the first time they're making miniatures for this video game series that just came out exactly a year ago from now. And I will say it's pretty solid. Most of the paint job is good, especially Astarion, who had the best paint job out of majority of the cast, besides like maybe a few smedges like Carly here. Gale only had one very noticeable one that's on his hand, if you look closely. And then, of course, the leg mold being pressed for too long will make the figure kind of lean forward, kind of like Raven Guard over here. But I will say the one character I feel like, not to say, oh, Withers would have been perfect for this pack, but I think they should have had the Dark Urge as a miniature. White Dragonborn with the black sorcerer outfit and whatnot. Like, I think that would have been a perfect character to throw with this pack, and maybe even throw Withers in as a character in the booster packs, which down the road I'll be reviewing some point on this channel. Other than that, I do like the gallery of miniatures that's in this pack. And if I were to give it a rating of 1 to 10, I'll probably give the whole pack itself a nice solid 7 out of 10 for this one. So if y'all agree, put your opinions down in the comments and tell me what is your favorite miniature from the Baldur's Gate 3 pack here today. And also tell me your favorite battle that you have played in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. As you can see right here, I've recreated some of the more iconic scenes and battles that have happened in Baldur's Gate 3. Everything from the Owlbear boss fight that you get to have, or getting to fight a bunch of undead, if you will. So if you like Baldur's Gate 3 and want to see more of this stuff, drop a like and a comment below.